All right, good evening and welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News without Scott Allen, as usual. He'll be here sometime. He'll probably come tearing in just enough time to eat some pizza and go home. Anyway, we got Brenden Queen with us tonight.
He's he's mad at me for running the Pro 6 races last year. That's why.
Yeah, he was one of them that was pretty ticked off about that last year. You had them all ticked off. I was trading one time. I was down in the infield and I went to the tech shed. I was thinking they're going to come up with a Brenden Queen rule.
They tried.
I know they
did. They tried.
I was talking to your dad. I said, "You watch and see. They go get it before it's over with. They're gonna find a way to get around it." All right, our show is presented by Smith's Wraps and Graphics, Papa John's Pizza. Well, wherever Papa John's Pizza is, there it is. And
breaking news.
What's that?
There he is.
Well, better late than never. Here he comes.
Can't talk trash about me until I get here.
Well, we already started.
It was
Too
not
late.
body count.
Too late. What's up, man?
I know you won the last 2 Pro 6 races, Jen. I heard. That's all right.
It's a new year.
That's right.
It's a fresh year.
All right, also sponsored by NC811, GAC, Great American Companies, Guillermo Amaya.
Yes,
See, can you say it? Can you say that name here?
Guillermo
No,
Amaya.
you done messed up already. Bondurant Brothers Distillery, Pepsi. I see you brought Pepsi and Mountain Dew in here.
I did. I can't rely on you sometimes.
Pepsi Pro.
The whole thing is full down there. Matter of fact, I had to clean the refrigerator out when I got here today. Somebody put a strawberry monster drink in there and it exploded. So I had to take care of it.
Awful nice of you.
Yeah, I don't normally do stuff, not nice stuff like that. MPM Marketing with Tanya McAllister. Langley Speedway. I want to thank Bill, Chuck, Vaughn, everybody for letting us be a part of this great organization here at the racetrack.
I'd go that far.
Factory Canopies, who got us the chairs and the table cover. And well, last but not least, Black Acid Apparel, who's Brendan's got shirts on there, some he ain't never seen before.
Yeah, the new shirts are on there. Get your.
You ain't got none yet?
I don't have one yet, but they're on the website.
Maybe I'll order one and get it before you do.
I don't know what year I label them as. I guess last year. Sure. I don't know. They got 2021 and 2020 on them. That's all I know.
All right, let's talk with Brenden a little bit and see what's going on with him as soon as I get rid of the thing here. I'm not sure what I've done here to mess this up, but anyway, get your thing together here. You know.
Well, you have to take the camera off yours. Everybody's watching, Jack.
I know. I'm watching everybody watching.
We did have music for the intro though.
Oh yeah.
I was impressed by that because I don't remember you playing music.
He must have hit the button by accident.
Pretty much.
Now we're gonna. Well, you know what? Just stand on the corner.
There we go.
Hey,
I got it.
There it is.
All right. We got Brenden with us tonight. We'll talk a little bit with Brenden. He's been working for a living, and
What's the secret on the car this year? Because you've been on point.
Phil says I got a job, and that's what it is.
Are you paying for stuff now? Maybe is that
No. He just said I learned how to drive all of a sudden. I don't know. I think it's a combination of a couple of things. You know, we kind of hit on something in 2020, and then carried it over to 2021, where we were able to put the races together. And then this year, you take all that together, and then I'm getting older. I think just each year you're maturing more.
How old are you?
Old in the racing world.
How old are you?
24. Getting there.
You might as well go see if you can get to a grade plot.
I mean, that's basically. I mean, you're going to be a late model driver at 24. You know, I mean, that's it. You know, so. But no, I think it just maturity is a lot of it. You know, learning how to put the whole race together, knowing how hard you're really pushing, how hard you're abusing your stuff, how to run hard and not abuse it, stuff like that. It just, and I think a lot of it is like I took a lot of pressure off me. Like I said, at getting older, and I don't care about making it to the next level. Like I just want to win late model races. Like if I can be a late model legend, like that's what I like to be. And
be an undefeated one right now. So how do you like that?
So you know, and I think when I did that and just took the pressure off me of worrying about other stuff and just said I just want to have fun. The fun started happening, and then obviously we started running good. And when you're running good, it's fun.
Right. Well,
And
you've won, and you're a champion. So I mean, you've kind of accomplished the things that would normally typically be on the list. So after that, you've got nothing to prove.
that's another thing I said. Like going into this year, yes, there's records that are up for grabs. You know, to three-peat, only 2 people have done it.
Oh, really? Who has done it?
Steve Falk and Elton.
Okay.
So, you
That's a
know,
pretty good company.
like even Phil didn't do 3. He did back-to-back a couple of times, but he never got the 3. So for me, it'd be to go into a even different club out here of the track history.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, going into the year, it's like I said, I really don't feel like I have to prove anything. I want to come out here and just win races.
Right.
But if it don't happen, it don't happen at the end of the day, you know? Obviously, we got the win out of the way, so that's out of the way.
You know, and the thing about it is, the last time you took the double, won both races on the same night, that was cool. And, you know, everybody that I spoke to that night, I spoke to a bunch of people walking around out here, and I spoke to them. Brenden won't win the second race. He won't win the second race. He done run his tires out in the first race. And then here you come, back to the front. I said, he's done learned something. Or feels in his ear, one or the other.
Well, I think, you know, car was really good. You know, Jay Edgecott builds a great car. Rayvon Clark Motors, you know, Rayvon is like, he's family to me. And I wouldn't want to go to war with anybody else. He builds a bunch of steam under the hood. That's a credit to the poles, all the poles that we've been able to accumulate. And just, you got to have everything. You got to have the motor. You got to have the chassis. You got to have the team. You got to have the shocks. You know, Lugnut does our shocks. All that together makes what's happening happen, and all the work at the shop. Phil Warren, you know, my whole team, the wheelchair warriors, as we like to call them, they are just on top of their game right now, and confidence, man. When you show up to the track and your team has that confidence, it makes you as a driver have that confidence. When they tell you, when they tell you you're gonna win, you're like, as a driver, I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, even for qualifying, a couple of my guys are like, what you got in it? And they start naming lap times. I'm like, nah, we're not going to be that fast. Like, I'm a realist, as I like to say. Like, it's racing. Just because you're on top of the world one week, the sun don't always shine on the dog. You know what I'm saying? I've been on both ends of it. I've won, and then I've been getting lapped. So it's.
But it's got to be cool when you come to the racetrack, walk through that gate. You don't have to worry about certain things because you know the crew's got things taken care of, and you're going to get in a car that's going to be good. So,
well, it goes back to like the team that I'm with right now. We've been together for both of the championships, and we were all together the year adding up to the championship in 2019. So 2019 was really, in my opinion, with everybody that came onto our team, was like a building year. And 2020 was a championship year and a Hampton Heat win. And then last year was our statement year. And then I don't really know what this year is. Long way to go. I mean, we could go winless the rest of the year, but the good thing is we're not winless for the whole season, no matter what.
No.
But I'm running a different car this year. That's not my car that I won the championship with. That's my new car, and it's been fast everywhere. I finished second in the Thanksgiving Classic with it. Had a really good car at Martinsville with it, and then we brought it to Langley. And opening night, it was like flipping a coin. I didn't know what car I was gonna run. I had both of them here. I practiced both. I couldn't make a decision. And finally, Phil and I were talking. We're like, what do we got to lose? It's the first race of the year. We can always run this race and go back to the other car. We ran it, won. It's like
you made me and Brian look like dummies up there.
I know. I wanted to say thank you.
That was interesting. That was interesting to see you
There's
fall
no
back.
way I thought you would go that far back.
I said in every interview before that, I'm dropping to the back.
Well, I heard you say.
But I get it. I didn't want to go a lap down either. That wasn't part of the plan.
Well, I seen when he got close to you that you kind of pulled away. It made me think for a minute, but I still didn't think that you would. That was still a pretty far ways. I mean,
If the cautions don't come out, we finish in the top 5.
I completely agree.
Cautions don't come out, we don't win, but we get back to the top 5.
Yeah.
Because Mark was 8 seconds behind us at the end of the race. So that's half a track I would have got back on. Because their stuff was going to give up. I don't care what they say.
They were putting a decent pace down.
They weren't going to run that hard. And if the caution don't come out, in my opinion, Greg Edwards wins the race.
We were all up here
In my opinion. Because he was third, and I think
he was going to come in close before that last caution, 69, 70?
And that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think Greg Edwards wins the race, and I finish 4th or 5th. But that's why it's racing. We banked on cautions. That was a strategy. We had a big field, and we were hoping for multiple cautions. And in my situation, as soon as we dropped the rag, I knew Mark was going to want to lead. I just know Mark. I knew he wanted to lead. And I started backing back, and the pace to me felt for opening night, the tire wear is always worse than normal. The pace was just so fast. And I made the mistake last year of running hard to get the lead at like lap 40, and it bit me. And if I didn't have that tire issue, I wouldn't have won opening night last year. Because I had to come in, I got a tire with 10 to go, and I come back and won the race. So I knew in my head, I'm like, I don't want to repeat last year. I want to do something different. And I said, I'm not going to beat them running hard with them. I said, because if a caution comes out, whoever's riding 7th or 8th is going to come up here and win this race. And when the cautions started coming, and we got to like 8th, then we were 5th, and then we were 3rd. When we were 3rd, I'm like, we got a shot. Like, this is it. And
you're starting to mow them down.
Then when I got to 2nd, and it's like Greg kind of inched back out, I'm like, man, like I'm gonna come up this short to the veteran again. Like, he just always makes it happen. But then you could tell with like 10 to go, 15 to go, that's where the tire mattered, and that light switch happened, and I was able to get into 3 car lengths deeper than him. And I basically was giving up exit because I was gaining so much on entry. And I'm like, if I can get to him and just take the air off, be there and get him loose, And I was able to just barely nudge him off of 4. And I wanted to do it quick. I wanted to make him buzz the tire so it overheated, because I didn't want him on the outside of me for the last 5 laps, because I didn't know if I could clear him. So I had to make it quick. And I feel like I did it so clean that he almost didn't even feel it.
No, it was pretty clean.
And once I got the lead, there was a bunch of lap traffic, and I kind of maintained the gap. But once I passed Greg, he didn't even put up a fight. I think he kind of knew at that point, and he had accepted it. And I was expecting him to race me hard, clean. Me and Greg raced really good together. I mean, people go,
now.
yeah, no. I mean, we had some heck of battles. I love racing with him. A lot of respect on both ends. I mean, he respects me just as much as I respect him. And once I got by him, I kind of was on cruise after that. I knew, and I was just kind of waiting for a caution to come out with 5 to go or something. Then fast forward to last race, completely different. Get the pole, and I'm like, all right, I want to win the first race. Can't worry about the second race. And we start off, and he's telling me my gap to Ryan, who's running 2nd. And I'm like, all right, no pressure. I I'm trying to ride, but I also ran a little hard to get going at the beginning. And then that caution comes out with like 17 to go. And I'm like, I said something I really can't say right now, but I'm like, did I run too hard? Did I mess up? Because now Greg's gonna be right here, and I know Greg, he's probably been riding in third because he was so far back. I mean, you're gonna ride, and I'm like, was I riding enough? Was I running too hard? As soon as we took the green, Greg got the second, and I'm like, all right, I got to get going. He's right here. And once we got a gap on him, Phil was telling me my gap, and I just maintained it and got to the end. And then I'm like, Justin Carroll's starting on the pole for the second race. He's gonna win the second race. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what
I mean,
he's done well.
Not taking anything away from him, but he ran 8th in the first race. Obviously, he didn't run as hard as I did in the first race at all. But hey, he's gonna win the second. I mean, it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I got like 15, 20 laps to get to the lead, or the tires are, hot. You're not going to make those passes. And I was able to get down in front of Greg on the start. And then, I don't know, I was running 4th within a couple of laps because the outside got shuffled back. And then it was like, all right, just pick them off clean. And it's, once I got the lead, I felt like I was in control. Even if I didn't have enough to get in the end, I could run the top and make it hard on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But then all these cautions kept coming out and the restarts, and I was getting jacked up on the restarts, and I'm like, I got to keep getting going here. And it's like once I got going and got in clean air, man, I felt like I rode the rest of the race and pulled away. And I felt like for the first time in my career, like my car was so good that I wasn't trying. Like, I know it sounds dumb, I felt like I slowed down and was going fast.
So, well, I mean, that's the same. Slow down to go faster.
Yeah. So for me, man, to double down at Langley was something I always wanted to do. But I feel like for some reason now with the tire deal, which we were on 4 tires, so that helped. 2 tires makes it a little more difficult to win both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I was able to win both, was we were on 4 tires that night. But either way, the competition, I feel like this is one of the toughest fields we've had in a couple of years, because I feel like there's 8 or 9 cars that can win. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got the normal 5 that have been there, and then you got Woody and Nick and all those guys back in the mix that
the new Ryan back.
Yeah, Ryan's right there. I mean, and Ryan's proven himself in the other divisions, and he's gonna be good in the late model. It's gonna take some time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins one, but it's gonna take time for him to put the races together, because it is different than the limited, and it's different tire wear. But then, like, Nick and Woody, I mean, Paintman Heat winners, win and all kinds of stuff. It's a tough field. So for me to come out and win 2 poles and 3 races, I think that's a statement, and I hope we keep it up for the year. Like I said, I feel way different in the car than I used to. Just
you have a different type of confidence about yourself too.
I think so.
I've watched you down there. You have a little bit more confidence in yourself. And
I think also, like, I know what the feel is now. You until you win like you do the other night, you don't know what that's supposed to feel like. Once you do it, you're like, okay, this is what that felt like. So now you're nitpicking it every week. And like the biggest thing that's helped me is I can almost tell you if my car runs the first 15 laps how I want it to, I know I have a shot. The nights last year that I finished 2nd or 3rd, the first 10 laps, I knew I didn't have the car, and I knew I was going to have a fight for it. Like when I won my 5 races last year, the 3 of them or whatever that I started on the pole and led flag to flag, I knew like lap 12 to 15 that I was going to have a shot. Like I picked up on that feel, and anything could happen. I mean, like, I'm not guaranteeing a win,
right,
but I knew
you got a good shot.
I knew, like, if it stays like this, and it normally does when it felt like that, once you got 15 laps into the run, if it was still doing that, you felt pretty good. And when you can go head-to-head with Greg and beat him one-on-one like that, we lined up side by side on that last restart, and and beat him, that's beating one of the best.
But you know what I can't wait to see? I want to see you back out in that Pro 6 again.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I want to see you in Pro 6 again. I want,
Man.
you got a guy sitting over there beside you, still waiting to see him,
Well, how cool was it to see Donovan win?
I know.
I mean, I know Travis had his deal, but hey, I'm good friends with first race. I'm good friends with Travis, don't get me wrong, but like that was so cool for Donovan to win and the family, yes. Look at this.
And congratulations for your dual wins and all your undefeated season and everything.
Look at that.
You are the driver of the month.
Driver of the month.
North Carolina 811.
That's the first one.
Is it?
First one I got.
That's not a check right there. That teaches you how to hang it up. So don't.
I know, that'd be cool. Yeah, this is the first one I got.
The first one? I thought you got more.
Yeah, I hadn't won driver of the week, I think, since maybe the Hampton Heat or
Oh, this is the first month that you've won driver of the week.
like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Probably before we even started giving stuff away for it.
Yeah. I didn't ever get nothing, and then I've never won driver of the month.
Wait, now you have.
I have knocked that off the list now.
So if you
So that would go up there right over there with the Hampton Heat.
Yeah, I'll put this with the Hampton Heat.
They're going right there beside it.
Hey,
You got a chance.
Look,
You got a
my
chance.
mom.
You got a chance to win driver of the week. You down to Dixon.
I know, I do. And look, my mom's going, oh no, because she's tired of me bringing trophies and plaques home because every time I win, the like right now, the twin trophies are sitting on the kitchen table and I won't move them till I win another one. That's motivation. I leave them there.
You didn't sleep with it though.
I didn't sleep with it. But I leave them there and then I won't move them until I win another race and then I bring the other trophy and sit there and take the other ones away. That's
Even if you win the race, the last race of the season, you just got to sit there.
They're all winner. They're all winner. No, that's cool, but yeah, I got a chance Friday night.
I can't wait to see you in the dirt car. I want to see how things go.
It's going to be exciting. I'm super excited about it.
Maybe if things work out, I might bring my grandson and come down and see you drive the dirt car this week.
Come on, it's going to be packed. I know that.
He's got some kind of infatuation with you and your
He's
mullet hair and all this other stuff. He thinks that's cool.
Oh, I see Mason Dunn comment. We got to see what he said. Tell Brenden he needed to work on the dirt car. He needs to get a move on. That's the dirt crew chief.
Oh, he's your dirt crew chief?
Jason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's the dirt deal is gonna be fun. I mean, I've learned a lot in a short time with that. It helps, driving for Staten, and then they're already a proven team, and
That's
I mean, like I know I'm working on myself more than them, and it's not even that you suck. There's so much. You're racing the track. The track changes. You got to change the brakes, and the first couple of weeks, I went through that transition with the wet to the dry track and went through all that transitions and learning. And the first week, Staten didn't even go. They sent me by myself with his car, and I tested it all night by myself. Not with his team, but Staten was sick. And then the next week, we both went and we got to run together, a little bit, and he got to get behind me and see what I was doing and give me some tips. And
this ought to be fun. It ought to be fun to see him race there.
It's gonna be a good time.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight.
I appreciate it. That's
driver
awesome.
of the month, undefeated.
I might not ever get to say that again, so I like it.
Yeah. Hey, my grandson says it all the time. That you don't want everything down here.
Well, Phil said we got to win 10 races. That was his goal last year, and I only got half. So he said 10 again.
How many has he won in this season?
18, 17, I think.
He's won a bunch of them.
I know that when he won the national championship.
The regional.
Yeah, the regional. I mean, he won them all here, but like
3.
It was a very.
He finished second twice and third once, I think. I think.
And one of them he contested because they ran a race 2 or 3 laps extra. Buddy Miles ended up winning the race. And they had to come back here and look at the film, and Buddy ended up winning, but because he didn't know it was the last lap.
You don't think Barbara was up there yelling at anybody, do you?
No.
No.
Anyway, we appreciate it, Brenden.
Appreciate it. And like I said, shout out to Phil Warren. None of it happens without Phil Warren.
You got that
I'm
right.
going to tell you that.
Yeah.
That's
He's the man behind the man.
hey, he's family to me. So appreciate you having me. Thank you for my
I
flag.
appreciate you being able to come out here, man, because I know you got a lot going on and everything.
I know it's been hectic.
All right, we're looking for
Appreciate
Chris
it.
Edwards now.
There he is.
What's up?
Man, so have fun, buddy. Good luck to y'all this week. Thank you.
You're in the middle. You're in the hot seat.
Cool.
All right, joining us now is Mr. Chris Edwards. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Chris Edwards. I've heard your name mentioned a lot, but I've never.
Was it good or bad?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, there was some good and some bad. Aaron told me a bunch of bad stuff, but
I hear that.
So but tell us a little bit how you got started racing and where you are today.
Yeah, how I got started was with Rick Townsend. I started with Rick. He wanted to, basically have somebody come in, do the saw shop stuff, man. He started at the bottom of the totem pole. And, I was working with my dad at the time doing construction. Wasn't very fun, and just, kind of made a move to that. And he started me there. And that's, all the guys in the shop, they're like brothers to me. They all took me kind of under their wing. Jefferson Hodges, Ryan Burrows, a lot of them, they're all like brothers still to this day. So they kind of took me under their wing, kind of showed me the ropes on how everything works. And of course, when we tested with Rick everywhere, Denny Hamlin, like all the guys that you see in Cup, a lot of the guys in Cup now that drove Rick's cars, they talked to him on the phone, and I'm driving Rick from track to track, and I just was a sponge, man, just trying to take everything in that I possibly could.
What time frame was that?
Around 2000 area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before Dale Jr. I remember, Rick got the call from Dale Sr. back in the day to build, like 6 cars? I think 2 for each kid.
Yep.
And then he had to go test with Dale Jr. I don't know if he had to test with the rest of them. He had to go to Myrtle Beach, I think it was, and test with Junior back in the day.
Yep. And the article, Rolling Stone magazine, I remember going and getting that with Rick. That was the article about, Junior and Kelly, driving and everything. So that was pretty cool, man, to be a part of that when it was at as high as we were doing. I mean, we were building 60, 70 cars and trucks a year at the time. So I had to catch on real fast, or those guys, they gave me crap anyway, but I'm glad they did. It made me stronger and made me learn quick. So
now you have your own team.
Yeah.
You got and running a team. Where's your shop at?
So I have a shop in King William. Chase Burrow's dad, Ryan Burrow's After Hours Fabrication is where I have the 8 car, which is Rusty Scuse's car, Top Gun Motorsports car.
Yeah, okay.
So we're housing that car, which was built with me and Ryan over the winter last year. We did some updates on it this year. So I kind of used that shop for that. And then we have Jeff Oakley's shop down in French Shores. He built a nice facility down there to be able to house his race cars and for me to come down there and work on them, when I need to, when he gets back fired up. So
you're doing the cars tour with both these cars, or
just with the 8 car, and then Jeff I think is going to be doing the like Dominion, just kind of Martinsville, some select schedule stuff. He said he might do cars tour schedule, but with the tire situation and stuff, it's really hard, man, to get a good practice in because you're on old tires all the time,
Well, that's what I was getting ready to ask you with the cars tour. How is the tire situation here?
So, well, Jack and them, I mean, they're doing as much as they possibly can, obviously. Last week we got rained out at Ace, and instead of keeping our race tires, which he probably could have, he released them for us to use for our practice for this week for Franklin, and because we didn't have anything left. I mean, all the guys that are practicing, I mean, we got 100, 200 laps on our tires, or using old race tires that by the time of them races are over, them tires are burnt up, because the races are so long, they don't count cautions. So the drivers are really pacing themselves to the end, and then they just cut them loose whenever crew chiefs tell them, or whenever they feel like, it's time to go.
So how did you get it? How did you get into the mood that you wanted to own a team and run the team?
And you never thought about driving?
No, never thought about driving. Kind of, guys, y'all know how it is. And I got in it too late. I mean, I was 18 years old when Rick, offered me this job, and I just was all into working on them and making them fast and building the best way we possibly can. Just trying to make our errors better than the next person's, if we can, so to speak. But that's how we got into it. And I was owning my own stuff. I had an opportunity. I was working at FTJ Motorsports with Frank Denny. We had a really good program going on. A lot of young drivers, some veteran drivers, Wayne Ramsey, Justin Johnson, and several other ones drove for us. But learned a lot there. Sammy Houston was the shop foreman there.
So were you there when Travis Miller drove
Yes.
for for Frank, didn't he?
Yep. Travis actually drove for Townsend. You know, we built his car. So yeah. And we got connected back. Used his pull down machine when he moved down to Charlotte. Was it MDM Motorsports?
Yeah.
Mark McFarland and Marty Langley and those guys down that way. So they were always open doors to me to be able to come down there, use their pull down rigs, their Midland Brothers, because at the time we just didn't have it. So now we're able to got our own pull down rig in house and being able to kind of do our own thing, but couldn't do it without the support of Rusty Skews. He's always had my back. Just blessed to have him in my corner.
I met Rusty down at Myrtle Beach one time. He's a cool guy.
Yes.
I like talking to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Floyd Crouch.
Yeah. He was part of the team as well.
Yeah.
When I was in Ashland, when I moved from Frankie's, we went and had our own shop at Ashland. Floyd was part of it, and Floyd was a big part of the organization. How you stock your truck, make sure you have spare things, because if you don't, the next guy's probably not going to have it or let you use it. So Floyd's been a big part of that, is teaching me and all that type of stuff, organization. So
yeah, he was with Travis when they went Hooters Cup racing back in the day, and my son was on that team.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I got to know them through that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
yeah, man, Travis, good people for sure.
So it was a lot of fun. Now, how do you like the Cars Tour? How things are going in the Cars Tour? It seems to be one of the better run series.
Yes,
going on
it
right
is. Like I said, the Jack McNelly and the officials that he has, his group of guys and girls that work with him are just unbelievable. I mean, they're really easy to work with. If you have a problem, they give you time to address it, fix it. But you better come through there right. But I like it because it's almost like you got to be on it at all times. There's no slacking. You have to know what your test plan is when you go into these tracks. They give you an hour the first day to get your stuff right. And with my driver and myself, a lot of these tracks we haven't been to. So we're trying to figure it out together. What springs might work best, what shocks might work best. And really been leaning on West Page and Lugnut and those guys to steer us in the right direction as far as shock package and, maybe what rear springs to run. And, he gives me ideas on front stuff, but we kind of come up with our own. And we go from there,
There's a name I hadn't heard in a long time, West Page.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's around, but I used to hang around with him when he was in the Hooters Cup Series.
Yeah.
I ain't go messing with those guys.
Yeah.
I used to hang around watching new stuff that he was doing.
Yeah.
That,
Amazing some of the stuff he does, man.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jack McNelly, like you said, he's got a first-rate organization there to run this thing.
Yes.
And you've not been to a lot of these tracks, so how much practice time do you get at these tracks when you go there? You said 1 hour.
Yeah, so the first day they give you like 1 hour, which is great because you can throw a lot of things at it and just try to come up with something that a good package that'll, you can try 2 or 3 different packages within that hour. I have a great team that they can change sway bars and all 4 shocks and springs with about 10 minutes. They're really fast on all that stuff because they've done it for years with me. And they kind of know what direction we're going in when we're trying to go, whichever way we're trying to go. And we just get it done. So they usually give you 2 hours on Friday. And then they give you, I think it's like an hour, basically, two practices the next day. And then you're rolling into qualifying. So, and then it's impounded from there. You can't touch it. And, so.
So who all do you have helping you on race days?
My crew, I have Wayne Dellove, Tony White, Shorty. I don't know if y'all know Shorty, Michael Carlton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So he's our tire guy. He's been with us for years. Best tire guy on pit road. And several other ones that help us. Mike Irvin does the transporting. Just some of the guys help Chase throughout the years. When he's been dirt racing, Larry Davenport, Larry Nelson. Just a group of guys, man. If they can make it, it's awesome. Because I love everybody together. And we just brought aboard a guy named Cliff Krause, and he's been doing all our embroidering on our shirts and all that stuff, and doing our times and like what changes we're making. So when I get back home, my notebook is about that thick, and I have every lap that kid runs, and we know, what's going on and what's not. So
what's it like having a kid like Chase Burrow driving for you? I mean, that's kind of, it's got to have its struggles. It's got to have its struggles.
Right.
I mean, he drives. I mean, he learned in arena cars racing against. I don't know if you ever raced against him or not, but
Luckily, no.
But I mean, arena cars, and now he's got dirt experience. He's got running with you in the cars.
Yeah.
So how's it working with him?
Well, me and Ryan, I mean, Ryan was a shop foreman. His dad was a shop foreman at Townsend. So me and him always worked close together. And he always did, you know, my A-frames, my rear work, all that stuff, you know. He's the one that did all that stuff. If I had a crazy idea, Ryan was the one making it. This
well,
kid,
I mean, that goes together.
right?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's right. But Chase was born, and we kind of, you know, Ryan was talking about maybe getting into arena racing, and you know, Ricky Dennis had this thing going on at the Coliseum, and he got into it. He did well.
Don't talk bad about Floyd either.
Right. But anytime we were testing, me and Shorty or whoever we were with, we try to come back and watch this kid race because I knew, you know, he's got talent, and if you surround him around good guys that can teach him well and steer him in the right direction, he'll be just fine.
So how do you and Aaron keep the riffraff away from it?
No,
I mean,
it's
guys
tough.
like Andrew Fuller. And stuff like that.
No, Andrew's a good dude, man. Andrew, he takes pictures for us on the weekends, and so I can see kind of what the car is doing attitude-wise and what the wheels are doing and all that stuff, what his hands are doing. If I didn't actually see it in whatever corner, but Andrew's a good kid. But yeah, I mean, you know, he's doing good. Still in school, so that's keeping him straight for a little while. And I know his dad and his mom stay on, you know, pretty hard. So.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So what's your schedule? So what do you plan on running? You're running the Cars Tour, anything else you're going to be running outside of that?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to do that. Was it the big one at Dominion? That's in between Langley and the Dominion race for the Cars Tour. So that would be a perfect test for me to go out there and run the big race with Jeff Oakley and see what we can do with it. I know there's a lot of heavy hitters there, so that's what we're going for. So, you know, we'll see what happens with
So
that.
towards the end of the year, we're going to be doing the Martinsville and
Yeah, Martinsville. We're going to try to do that with the 8 and the 11. And Rusty actually just is purchasing a pro super late model car from Port City and those guys down there. So we're going to be racing him. We're going to try to come up with something there once we get the car in house and test him a little bit and maybe try to run him on some of these code shows that they do the pros and they do the late models on the Cars Tour. So that'd be fun. You know?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Port City's kind of, I mean, the last 3 or 4 years, those guys are kind of guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people running their stuff.
Yeah. And we know Nathan Childress over there. He used to work for SRI, and he's like a brother to me. You know, I called him because I knew he was working there, and I just asked him if he had anything available. And he goes, actually, we do, man. So that's kind of how that came about. So we're in the works of doing that, getting that all together. So
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
that's right. That's
You
right.
know, back in the day, you look back at Townsend back in the day, and Zavakis and all that group, all they had their race cars.
Townsend started before they started Townsend.
And that was just down.
Yeah, but before that, he worked for not Savakis.
What's Zavakis?
Yeah, 'cause they
Laughlin,
ran-
maybe?
Yeah, it was Laughlin.
Laughlin.
I know he worked for the 16 car.
Yeah, but he did some cup and stuff.
Yeah.
He was with Butch Lindley
Mhm.
back in the day.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that race 16. You know, Rick always talk about that and his team, and Mike Beam, and you know all those guys.
But it was just kind of interesting how Townsend had their cars, and a lot of people were pro Townsend, and a lot of people were pro Zavakis, and it was a lot of fun to see them argue about.
Yeah. I never heard Rick say anything negative about anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some of these other guys, you hear that, but Rick Townsend, he would never do that.
He just did his own thing.
He did. And if you needed help, he'd help you. It didn't matter who you were. And that's kind of what I based my company off of. He said, if you give them 110%, Chris, anybody can win. So I try to give anybody, don't matter who they are, I give them the same effort. And that's what we do, you know.
That's
Even
very true.
even with Chase.
With Chase, with Rusty, with Jeff, with anybody. It don't matter, you know. We do our job the same
Well, I
way.
want Chase to give you 110 back.
I think he has so far. He's done well. Sometime in practice and qualifying, we get a little nervous, but he never does. He knows his job. He knows what he's got to get done. And you might see me sweating over there a little bit, but he at the end of the day, he makes me look good, and that's all I can ask for. Man.
Now, were you over at Frank's place when Godovich was over
Yeah.
there?
Oh yeah. Rick Godovich.
Frank was telling some funny stories.
Oh yeah, Rick's wild, man. Yeah, Brenden, my crew chief Brenden Godovich, went in the limiteds, and we had a good run going at Martinsville that time. Yeah, it's a lot of stories.
Yeah,
there,
Most
for
of them were
sure.
all Rick, though.
Yeah,
When Rick out here tested, and they told him to pull over.
Oh, there wasn't here. It was at South Boston.
Oh, it was at South Boston. They told him to pull over.
Third practice.
Yes, why he's going so slow.
It took him a minute to get adapted to it, but I've seen Rick winning modified races here,
Yeah.
man. That's impressive, for him.
One open tonight, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. I saw he was running well last year. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's cool to see.
It is. It's awesome to see.
Because he's put his time.
He
in.
has. He's put
And
so
he's
much
put
time.
So much
Much
money.
money.
in.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And he's
my
always
goodness.
been helpful for so many other racers too.
For sure.
That needed support or needed help. Rick has always been there. So
Yeah, that's a fact.
yeah.
For sure.
Fuller, I'm gonna take that comment by Aaron off and get rid of it. You're the cool one. I don't see cool there. But anyway, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of fun that you're being up there and doing the cars tour. You got Franklin County this coming weekend.
Yes, sir.
Chase, have you ever been to Franklin County?
Never seen it.
Oh, you're gonna have fun.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. It'd be like everyone else.
You been there?
No, I haven't actually. So
I haven't, but I've heard that place is rough.
I looked at it, guys. What it looked like to me is maybe like Orange County, maybe a spin from Orange County and maybe Caraway. I don't know.
Orange County
I said
about.
East Carolina is what Butterbean just told me.
All right. Well, I've been to East Carolina, been to Orange County. So
I
don't know.
ain't
We'll
going
see.
that far with it.
I don't know.
Every track's a little different.
I think Franklin County it may be an Orange County 40 years ago.
Okay. That's what I heard.
Still got the
Bumpy,
original
bumpy.
ad
Yeah.
off.
That's what my shock department told me. They said, go with this set, and this is why. Your driver might need a mouthpiece. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Did you get one?
Yeah.
Because exactly, one of my relatives used to run Franklin County Speedway, and yeah, it ain't been a whole lot of changing over the years.
But we're looking forward to it, something different, and that's what I like about the tour. It's not the same old thing every week, It's something different, something for us to try to tackle, something new for him and me most of the time. And the team, of course, they're just on it all the time. Whatever I tell them, they're on it. So I'm blessed, man, to be in the position that I am. I want more clients. I want more people to come, try our cars and stuff. I'm just trying to get our name out there, man.
Well, Chase and get up on the wheel.
I know, right?
More
That's what I'm
clients.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's
So-
a billboard, man. We gotta sell it.
That's right. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to Rusty getting in his pro. I know he's looking forward to it. He loves his kid driving that 8 car, but he's looking forward to getting back in the seat and have some fun himself. And then Jeff's getting fired up and getting ready for Dominion. So, looking forward to it.
It'll
Man.
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming down here and being with us
Well,
tonight.
thank you,
I know
guys.
it's a long trip down here for you.
Oh, it ain't bad, man. Everywhere we go is at least an hour. it seems like.
Right. Well, we appreciate it. Now we're gonna bring your driver in here.
Sounds good to me.
Because, we're gonna see what he's got to say.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks
All
a
right.
lot, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, man.
All right, here comes the superhero.
I don't know about that.
It's a little thinner than it used to be. It used to be a little short, chunky thing back in the arena days.
We got him on them salads.
I might choke if I ate one of them.
I'm not big on
Do you know that it's been a long time since you've been on our show? It's been a long, long time.
It's been a minute.
You was a little fellow, Well, not a little
He
fella.
ain't never been little.
No, maybe little fella in that regard, but little fella in age.
Short.
But it's, have you back on the show, and you've been doing a lot of things. I mean, really. You drove the dirt cars, the asphalt cars. Didn't you run modifieds out here last year? I mean, you've done a little bit of everything. So,
Yeah, I try and get as much seat time as I can, Got the modified we run here, ran the Southern National Thanksgiving Classic a couple times. Bob Unser, I drove his late model for a long time, since I was 14. So, and Larry Nelson, I totaled Bob's car at Dominion one day practicing. And Larry Nelson, his car was just sitting at the shop, just sitting there. And I came to him, I was like, hey, look, we put Bob's stuff on it, go run your chassis. And he was like, go for it. So that's the 00 we've been running, the white chassis car. That's Larry Nelson's car. So just a big group of guys. We got the dirt late models too.
So you've been basically when you've been running asphalt, when you were running the late models, you were running the Dominion most of the time.
Yeah, we ran Dominion most of the time. Ran the Classic a couple times down to Kinley. Brought Bob's car here, I think twice. That was a while ago. I don't know what year that was. It's been a minute. But mostly Dominion, yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal for you. Now, if you had your pick, what would you pick? Dirt or asphalt?
I love dirt racing. And it might just be just because the closest dirt track is Virginia Speedway. You know, it's the best of the best. Um, but I love dirt racing. It's where I kind of started my, I guess you could say, my big car career. You know, I went from arena racing straight to the big cars.
That's what I thought. I wasn't gonna say that, but that's what I thought. Yeah.
So, you know, that's stomping grounds. You know, I love it. But the asphalt is pretty cool, especially this cars tour.
You know, we got one person sitting up here that's never been to a dirt race.
No,
You never been to one?
No.
Never been to. You don't know what a dirt race is.
Come on.
I'm telling you, never been to one.
Never been to Dixieland.
Never
Never been to
That's the
Virginia
place
Motor
to go.
Speedway. Virginia Motor.
Dixieland's place to go on Friday night.
Yeah, it is the place to go. It's
What's
Just hope-
wrong with you?
just sometimes hopefully you'll be able to bring the same car back with you when you go down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've seen some cars do some things down at Dixieland that the average car don't do.
And I think a lot of people don't know, you have a long history of your family in racing. Your grandfather worked at Richmond International for 100 years. For a long time. I guess he retired a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. And then your dad obviously working at Townsend, building race cars, and I have a shop building cars, and I guess you're in there working on them now. So I mean, there's probably never been a time there hasn't been some kind of race car involved in that.
No, there's always a race car. You know, if there's a spare moment that we're not either going to Gage's baseball or I'm not racing, we're usually at the shop working. Whether it's on my race car or somebody else's race car, it's always, my life's been around racing since I was tiny. So, I can remember when I was a little kid, going to Chris's shop. I'd ride my scooter across the street. When Rusty was running the Pro Cup stuff, just go over there and just hang out, and just I've always been around race cars.
That's gotta be cool for a guy like Chris too, because you see this kid come over there and, hang around, be a part of stuff, and then he's driving your car.
Did either one of you think he'd be driving the car at some point?
I always wanted that. I never knew it would come so soon, to be honest with you. It's amazing to really how it all came together. It really is.
Did you ever think that, like, you go out there and see his cars, you think, man, it'd be so cool if I could drive it?
No, he had this big fancy shop, big cars everywhere, big old trailer outside, and I just ride my scooter over there. I ride my scooter over there and just go hang out. So his shop was hot. Dad didn't like to turn the heat on, so I go over there.
Hey, I'm all scared.
Doesn't have the heat on, so I go hang
Warm
over
over
there.
there.
Yeah.
Does it got AC too?
Did you? I don't think it had
Yeah,
AC.
I didn't have
No.
AC, but we had
His shop would
radiant
flow.
heat.
His
So
shop would flow pretty good. Though.
and we
He
had
more
popsicles for the
doors.
boys, so they were over there eating popsicles and all that stuff.
Candy, he had all kinds of stuff. I'd go over there.
So you leave your dad over there doing his thing. You go over there to help him.
Yeah, I'd come back though. I mean,
Hey,
I'd ride
the
over
kids
there.
will hear a whistle and then they come rolling back.
Going too far. It was about maybe 200 yards away, so just ride the scooter on over there.
That's gotta be. I mean, did you go over there to Chris and get in one of Chris's cars and get behind the wheel and sit there and go?
I think I sat in the Pro Cup car maybe one time.
Scott does that now. He goes and sits in his car. Goes.
I don't make that noise.
That's what he does.
Sorry.
Now,
That's right.
now, when you started driving these big cars, this is a question I ask a lot of people. So I want to ask you this question: when you started driving these cars, did they have to label the pedals to let you know which one was which?
No, so I mean I was young. I don't know what age I was, but I was young, and Daddy had his Blazer, old Blazer. I think it was on like 35 or something, and it was a straight drive. And man, I used to drive the thing. I used to wake up, Dad'd be cutting grass. I'd go jump in it and just ride around, up and down the driveway, around the yard. And then he had a Jeep. I'd do the same things, I mean, I knew how to drive a straight drive, but the arena car, it had a gas and a brake. The only thing with a big car is just another clutch.
You had a brake in it?
Yeah, I didn't use it much, but
Well,
I had a
Scott
brake
didn't
in it.
use it much either.
And there's no need. Brakes overrated. But yeah, so when I got into a big car, so actually the dirt truck, that's the first thing I started in, was a truck at Virginia Speedway. And I think it was like a week before the race, finally got together, and Dad was like, "I want you to go drive around the parking lot." And I learned one night, it was, the Blazer is one thing, a Jeep is one thing, but a race car is different. Clutch, the way it is, the gears, it's all different. So I got in it and learned it fairly quick, but it really wasn't a big deal.
Have you missed a shift?
I missed a couple.
Missed
Yes.
a couple?
Yes.
Did you hit your brake pedal instead of your gas pedal or clutch pedal when you were
I've never hit the brake instead of the clutch,
when
but
you're in front of the field? You
I
hit the
have
brake.
tried to brake for the corner and clutched it. I've done that a couple times on dirt. You know, I haven't. Knock on wood, I haven't done it on asphalt, but on dirt I did. I shot down the corner and clutched it, and it picked up speed quick.
Fuck yeah, I'm imagine you did.
It wasn't very good.
Well, you know, Scott, he come out here and he's been. I've got to give it to him. He's been trying hard. You know, he set the record for top fives when there's only 4 cars in the race. But you know, so I mean, you know, he's done well.
Record books don't show that.
But he's trying. But he's
Top
trying.
five, right?
That's right.
Had you finished 5th and there's only 4 cars. That's not good, is it?
I mean, I don't
There's
know.
only
I guess
4
it's the way you look at it.
Only 4 cars, and he finished 5th.
Well, I mean, that might be the problem, but I mean,
I'm gonna have to get you with this match.
That's a trick question.
try to trick me.
But you know, he I got to give it to him. He's been trying hard. He finally got on the outside pole one night. And they dropped the green flag, and he hit the brake.
I was still third by going into 1 and 2.
At least you rebounded, right?
When the guy hit me in the back, I shoved it in gear and took off.
Took off.
You know, he's one of a kind. You know, he's just
Right.
likes to be there. And you never got to race with him in arena cars, and that's you know
I think when you're running, I was still in youth.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
that was your luck.
No, Scott was fun to watch.
Fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. All right, I'll give you that one. He was
I
fun
was
to
going
watch.
around backwards up the one night, right? Trying to hit my head on. Yeah, that was.
Tried. He did it.
Make sure that was the same guy.
He did it. He hit him head on. He told the guy, "You ain't winning the championship tonight."
Did you get in any trouble?
It's the last race of the season. They didn't even say nothing to him.
I don't know. We had the police around us for a
Had to
while.
fight. Had to fight your way out of there.
No.
Hey, your dad should look at your phone.
Oh, boy.
Ain't
Oh,
no
boy.
telling what it is.
You done got in trouble already.
He said, "Tell Scott bring car to me. He would be better."
I love it.
There you go.
Well, there's your driver.
No, I don't think Dad's the driver. He just
No.
Oh, you wait.
don't
Oh,
want you-
wait a minute. No, that's not going to
He
happen.
just wants to get her in the right direction.
No. No, that's not going to work. You still got Scott driving. that just is not going to work.
Come on.
No. Have you not watched? Have you not seen the Pro 6 race out here?
It's been a minute.
Oh, okay.
It's been a minute. I think you're doing all right.
We're gonna move.
This is your last time coming on the show. You know that, right?
I'm just trying to help him out.
You may have a gray beard by the time you come back next time. you keep sliding up the hill over there.
So man, are you running all the Cars Tour races?
So I do believe so. You know, the beginning of the season we started at Caraway, and you know we kind of talked about it just doing it one race at a time. But then I think it was after Caraway or after Greenville, one of the two. Rusty Hughes came to me or called free out or whatever, and he offered me to run the full season. And you know, I got my
You
dirt.
told him no?
I got my dirt. No, I did not say that. No. So pretty much I'm running the full season, yes. But I do have my dirt league model. I got sponsors on. I got 10 of them. I got to run that
Mhm.
a fair amount of times. And then if it doesn't interfere, I think we're gonna come trying to run a Blues race again with a modified.
Okay. Who's modified are you running?
It's mine. So Adam Medic gave it to me.
Okay.
He took the motor out, training out, and gave me the car. I was just getting started, and so actually I ran his car at the Thanksgiving Classic. That same modified. He still
Okay.
owned it. I ran it at the Thanksgiving Classic twice, I do believe. And then after the second time, you know, I think he had bought 2 or 3 more modified. So that one was kind of the back. It was an old car. So then he was like, "Look, I'll take the motor." I think it was Christmas Eve. Actually, he called and was like, "Hey, I'll take the motor transmission out, and y'all can take the car. You get a motor and training, y'all can run it."
Nice.
So got a motor training. Then that was the year we came out here and run 3 or 4 races, I think, here. Then Then we ran a Blues race, and then the next year I was running a late model a lot. So I really didn't come here. I ran twice maybe and in the Blues race. So I don't get time to run it much, but when I do, it's always a blast.
Okay, so what on so far as the cars tour, if we're going to be running them all, which ones are you like, man, that's going to be a tough race, and which ones are you thinking I'm looking forward to?
So Doc Love last night on Race 22, he asked me the same exact thing.
Oh, really?
You know, I really like. There's really not one track that, to be honest with you, if there's really one track I'm skeptical about is Langley here. You know, I've been pretty good in a modified here, but every time I bring a late model here, we struggle. And you know, it's
I
just
thought this would have been the place you'd be like, okay.
it's one of these tracks. Well, I mean, I'm excited because it's close to home. You know, It's
Right.
not a 7-hour drive to go to a racetrack and all. But you know, here in Dominion's close. But you know that I'm excited about the full season. You know, just these new tracks, they're cool to go learn and kind of figure it out. It's something different. You know, it's definitely cool.
So then who do you go talk to, like the race coming up in Franklin County? Is there somebody that you go and say, hey, you know, can you give me some tips about Franklin County or whatever, Orange County or whatever? I would imagine, you know, with your dad, you have some resources to pull from.
So, you know, I don't really know. So the recent races we ran, Connor Hall has been leading to. You know, Connor pretty much he's ran pretty good wherever we
He's
went.
pretty hot right now.
And you know, in practices, you know, he's up there on speed charts. So you know, if I've got a question, you know, I'll go ask him a simple little like, hey, what are you doing here? Are you doing this here? And a lot of times he'll straight up say, just do this, and follow me. You know, it's a great help. But you know, my spotter, Justin Posey, crew chief Chris, my dad, you know, and then Rusty's Fuse, they'll stand in the corners. It's another set of eyes that they can look and see what everybody else is doing compared to me. And, you know, when it comes to the cars, we're the little guys, you know, we're a small team, one car, you know. But like I said, Connor Hall has been, if I have a question, I pretty much go to Connor. And, you know, I try not to ask much questions because, you know, there's a lot of things that you don't want to tell somebody else as a driver if you've learned something, you know. But yeah, just the guys around me, they're the best of the best. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So.
Now, I'm gonna ask Chris this question because I see it been popped up on here. Andrew Fuller says he's gonna be in the 8 late model whenever Chase can't make a race.
How much sponsorship he got?
I'm just asking you the question.
Photos for
Got
life.
that?
Yeah, photos for life.
If that's the question, I see a problem.
You'll have to talk to Mr. Skews about that one.
Well, I ain't gonna get involved in that one.
That's up to him.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate you coming back here and being with us again. I mean, you know, it's been a while since you've been here. I mean, I'm impressed with the fact that you do as much racing as you do. Of course, you have, you know, the people to help you get these things done. And I think it's really cool that you're able to run different types of races. So I'm wishing you a lot of good luck and go out there and get us a couple wins in the cars tour this year.
We're gonna try. That's
Like
the goal.
Dominion,
That's the goal.
Langley.
It'd be nice. It'd be cool for sure.
Okay, well, we're gonna be looking for you to do that here.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, that's Chase Burrow, everybody. Thanks, Chase, for being here with us tonight. I want to thank Aaron Goodman from Mayhem Management. Did I get it right that time?
You did?
Okay.
You put her on the spot again?
No, I'm not
we're
gonna put her. She done told me she ain't doing it.
Oh, that's part of the rules now.
She ain't doing it now.
She didn't say that the first
But I appreciate it. And like I told her before, anything you need, we're here to help you with you whatever you got going on too. It'd be great to, you know, work with you and get some of your people on here. And I know you got Riley Rondo is.
She just got her first go-kart win.
So
Her first one ever.
we need to get her on here real
That
soon.
first one ever.
Yes, it is. That was her first win.
In a car?
That was her first one, period. This
I
last
thought
weekend.
she had won some kart races.
That was her first win.
Oh, well.
Good kid. Nice family.
Great kid.
All right, now next week is going to be a kind of a special show. John Phillips is gonna be here. Eddie Clark and barbecue will be here with us.
See, he invites you when we're having good food,
Are you gonna be on time next week?
maybe.
Oh, did you hear what I said?
No.
Barbecue?
So he will be here.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be here on time next week.
I'll be here at 4.
Sampling
Until it's ready.
and Kim, what's his name?
Brown?
Brown. Tim Brown's gonna be with us next week too. My mind just locked up
News to
on.
me.
Huh?
That's news to me.
Well, he and I talked about it.
He didn't tell his social media department. It's okay.
Lord, I done got him in trouble too. I'm doing pretty good at this thing, getting people in trouble these days. All right, well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks everybody for being here.
Did you get the news today?
Well, what little bit of news there was, I forgot to do it yet. Thanks for
You
reminding
weren't
me.
here anyways.
Kurt's divorce news.
I mean, Kurt went from winning a race to he ain't got no wife no more.
Right? That's what I said. I was like, wow.
I was trying to figure out how we could get Chase in trouble. Is the blonde here, is this the girl you had last week?
No. Lord have mercy.
Is there a blonde here? Oh,
No.
There ain't no girls here. There ain't no girls here except for Aaron.
I was like, well, ain't nobody here.
Waiting for my phone to go off.
I'm waiting for the ding. It's coming. It's coming.
So, okay, well, we're not going, you need to get your racing career going real good before you even worry about stuff like that. Look at Kurt. Kurt's done got divorced twice. Thank God he had a prenup this time. So he,
Well, I don't know, she had more money than he
I was gonna say, I think
His family was very wealthy.
I'm not gonna say that, at least he won't lose his.
allegedly, that's the key word, guys, allegedly.
Well, Kurt doesn't have good luck when it comes to weather. You know, I knew the blonde. I knew the blonde really well, you know, and then she turned out to be a damn nut.
All of them have except this last one.
Huh?
Both of them has except the last one. I don't know if she's a nut.
Well, we'll find out here in the next few weeks. We'll find out. I heard him say, he was talking about his team at KBI, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about the team at KBI. I got to thinking today, hell, he might not have all that when he may not be a full team when he goes back, but he had a prenup, so he'll be able to keep it this time.
There you go.
So
Always get the prenup.
just as long as nothing comes up where he got on the bus with her and she didn't want him there. So anyway, but you know, I know Kurt well, so I've seen all that in the prime time when it was happening right in front of me. So anyway, all right, everybody, that's our show for tonight. Thanks to Chris for being here with us, Brenden Butterbean Queen, and Chase Burrow. And how old are you? You're 17 now, right?
17.
Okay, you'll probably be 50 or so before you come back again. All right, thank you, and we'll talk to you again next week.